Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be. My name is Don Oshman, Editor-in-Chief of HideNet Publications, and talking to you live from HideNet Studios in Scottsdale, Arizona. It's 20th of May, 2018. This week, Ronald Guel reports from Novo Hamburgo that Brazilian fresh hide prices are stable, but the big news out of Brazil, where they're still trying to sell at 80-85 cents TR1 CFR, was that a large volume, I don't know how big a large volume, was sold in Italy, delivered Italian tannery at 70 cents a kilo for TR1. I don't know if it was the finest TR1 or whatever it was, but the sales did take place, or the sales did take place. So that tells you how bad the Brazilian market is. In Argentina, raw hide prices were steady when you relate to dollars. Paraguay's market was steady. An Argentinian tanner wrote an open letter, a slaughterhouse, to the government about hide export tariffs, which are hurting the returns for these meat packers, arbiters. In Brazil, prosecutors charged JBS with shareholder corruption, another problem they keep coming up with JBS. And Marfrig got approval for the $900 million financing for National Beef's purchase, which they made about a month or two ago. Abacaldos in Brazil warns of possible job losses with reduced import tax. In Mexico, the peso-dollar fluctuations affected the corporate center, and Uruguay's year-to-date cattle slaughter is up. It's all relative, but it's up. Milan, Andre Guolo reports the North German cows fell below $1 euro, which is below a benchmark, and bull prices increased because the tanners were looking for hides. That's what's going on there. Dutch calves sold for €6, and one sale was at $6.20. So the Dutch calf business and the calf business in Europe remains hot, if you will, because there's better demand, because there's very good luxury goods sales, especially in Europe, and they need these calfskins. And they need the best calfskins. The other calfskins, that's another story, but the very best get a big premium. Also, Andrea reports that the cow market in Europe continues its endless decline, with the end not yet in sight. Same things going on in America. And in Italy, a tannery was sold to Burberry, because Burberry is expanding their leather business, and that's why they wanted to have another tannery to assure their supply. In Spain, we hear that footwear exports are growing. In Portugal, Andre reports that the UITIC Congress was well attended, which is good for the industry. And in Europe, cars sold up 9.6% more vehicles in April, which is very good because a lot of them, especially in Europe, have leather. America, prices were mostly lower this week. The only two selections that weren't lower were heavy native steers and branded heifers. Everything else was down. And that shows you also the trend for the hides without brands in the case of the native steers. United States Hide and Leather Association added to a multi-association letter on Chinese tariffs to the American government, how detrimental it would be to trade. Speaking of documentation and governments, the Chinese, as effective June 1st, have new documentation requirements for export to those countries. And this has been announced before, but the deadline, as a reminder, is June 1st. Also, we hear reports that NAFTA, North American Free Trade Agreement, is in limbo, which is not good. And there's a lot of American hides go to Mexico. We have a report on the U.S. drought monitor, which is affecting cattle, because if they don't have enough water, there's not enough grass, not enough feed, they'll slaughter them. As a result, slaughter this week, I think, was 660,000, a record high for the year. Because it's a Memorial Day weekend and people use a lot of beef, and the aforementioned drought, and packers are making a lot of money in every head as a result. We also have a report on JBS, good news from JBS. Their first quarter results, this is worldwide, were on the upside. Slaughter exceeded shipments again, and our forecast for the coming week, which is 89% correct. You have to read our report to find out. HideNet.com, look at our U.S. weekly, Latin American, European, international report, and This Week in Leather. HideNet.com, if you're in the business, can you afford to be without it? Thanks.